Is it clear to you all? So when we talk about that the zeros of the polynomial, just it is written zeros, it means that if just suppose that polynomial x, we are writing here x because these are using the variable x only. So 2x plus 1, which is equal to 0. So when we just solve this equation, it will be 2x equal to minus 1 and x equal to minus 1 by 2. Okay. So when we again put this value means minus 1 by 2, and when we just use this value in this expression, it must be equal to 0. Okay. So when we use the value of minus 1 by 2 at the place of x here, so it will be minus 1 plus 1 will be cancelled and it is equal to 0. So if minus 1 by 2 in the equation it is given that is minus 1 by 2 is the factor of this polynomial. So we only know to this that this is the factor of this polynomial after using this value to this expression. At the place of x we have to use minus 1 by 2, है ना. हमें माइनस 1 बाई 2 को उसके दिए गए पोलिनोमियल का जो एक्सप्रेशन है उसकी जगह पर यूज करना है, जहां पर x की जगह माइनस 1 बाई 2 वैल्यू पुट किया जाएगा. अगर उसका वैल्यू 0 के बराबर आता है, इट मींस दैट दिस इज द zeros of the polynomial, or we can say that this is the factor of that polynomial. Which polynomial? This polynomial. And which type of the polynomial it is? So it is the linear polynomial where the maximum degree is equal to 1. So this is the part of the class 9 where you already know that what is the factors of the polynomial that we usually call that zeros of the polynomial, and what are the relation of these zeros to their coefficient. In this class we will be known that the some expressions like, for example, ax square plus bx plus c. This is the expression of quadratic equation. Okay. So for zeros, we will use some variable just like alpha, beta, or gamma. Okay. For example, alpha and beta, there you know that this is the quadratic polynomial. So only two zeros will be required here. Two zeros means two factors will be required here. यानी यहाँ पे हमको सिर्फ दो फैक्टर की रिक्वायर्ड होगी, तो ऐसे में हम सिर्फ यहाँ पर अल्फा बीटा का यूज करेंगे. एंड इफ इट विल बी क्यूबिक पोलिनोमियल, अगर यहाँ क्यूबिक पोलिनोमियल अगर यूज हम कर रहे हैं, so definitely there will be requirement of three zeros. Okay, and there we can use alpha, beta, and gamma. Okay, this as a zeros of the polynomial, or you can say the factors of that polynomial. Is it clear to you all? Am I audible to you? Okay. So today the class will be on the topic of graphical representation of these polynomial. The last class, that was the introduction classes about that how we relate the coefficient. We will study this topic to our next exercise also, that how we relate the coefficient with the zeros. But in this class, your first exercise is on the topic of graphical representation. And for clear understanding, you have to understand that what are the zeros and how we represent in the graph with the help of given data. Okay, so suppose there is an expression. We are just starting with linear polynomial only. Linear polynomial only. So, will anybody give an example of linear equation? Means linear equation, or you can say linear expression in the term of zeros. Will anybody say any expression, linear expression? x plus, okay, fine, x plus 3. Okay, so as you said that x plus 3, so this x plus 3, this will be right. Wait for, so this x plus 3, which is equal to 0. So before that, you have to understand that ax plus b, okay, where a should not be equal to 0. This is a linear expression, and you can see here that a is the coefficient of x, the coefficient of b is only 1 here. So a should not be equal to 0, because if x is multiplied with 0, so the resulting value will be 0. So a should not be equal to 0 here. So for this, using this expression in the term of what you can say that graph, you must have to write that y is equal to ax plus b. Okay. For finding the value of y, you must have to know that what is the value of x. Okay. What is the value of x? You first have to know, then after you can easy to find that what is the value of y. So suppose let x is equal to 1. So after, suppose there is an expression that y is equal to 2x plus, what you said, x plus 3. So x plus 3, okay. So if x is 1 here, therefore 1 plus 3, it will be what, 4. So if we collect these all data, x and y, collect these all data, that when we use the value x 1, we get the value y 4. In the same way, if we just use the value minus 1, suppose, so what will be the value of y? Minus 1 plus 3, it means 2. So minus 1 and it will be 2. Okay. Now there is a requirement of only two values at least. So first we are using these two axes. You know very well that it is x axis, it is x naught axis, it is y axis, it is y naught axis. It is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. The same way, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and minus 4. Okay. Okay, fine. So value of x is equal to 1 and value of y is equal to 4. Okay. So you know there are the four quadrants. आप जानते हो कि पूरे x axis y axis की जब हम बात करते हैं तो there are four quadrants. Okay, you know very well. So जो वन और फोर है ये किस क्वाड्रेंट में जाएगा? ये फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में जाएगा, ठीक है। सो वन एंड फोर, द वैल्यू ऑफ एक्स इज वन। सो यहाँ पर हम क्या करेंगे, वन का वैल्यू हम जान रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर है और वाई का वैल्यू यहाँ पर है फोर, तो हमें क्या करना है, वन की तरफ इसे ले जाना, ठीक है। एक वैल्यू हमारा यहाँ पर हो गया जिसे हम लिखेंगे वन और फोर, क्योंकि पहला वैल्यू हम किसका लिखते हैं, एक्स का लिखते हैं, दूसरा वैल्यू हम वाई का लिखते हैं। ओके, नाउ the second value is given, that is minus 1 and the value of y is 2. So where is minus, means negative value of x, so it is here. So minus x means minus y, sorry, minus 1 it is, and the value of y it is 2. So value of y is 2, so here it is minus 1. Okay, so this is the minus 1 and y. Okay, so it is minus 1 and 2. Now you can see here that after using the scale, when you just means make to meet this point, okay, it is easy to intersect. It is easy to intersect at this point. Okay, and this point will be called the zeros of this variable that it is given y is equal to x plus 3. It will be written as y is equal to x plus 3. Okay, y is equal to x plus 3 because the value of y can only be easy to find when it will be marked on x axis only. ओके, y का जो वैल्यू है वो तभी हम फाइंड कर पाएंगे जब वो x एक्सिस पर मार्क होगा। तो x एक्सिस पे जहां पे मार्क हुआ है एंड दैट पॉइंट विल बी द zeros of this equation. Okay, that value will be the means the value of this equation. Okay, so we use this point as the zeros of the polynomial. Okay, we will use this point as the zeros of the polynomial. Am I audible to you all? Yes, yes. Why not? Why not? You can use any value to x, but your coefficient of x should not be equal to 0. Coefficient of x, I mean to say that at the top of the board you can see that ax plus b is given, and where the coefficient of x means a should not be equal to 0. Okay, you can put the value of x as a 0 here. You can put the value of x as a minus, means a negative integer or positive integer, and anything else. Okay, so any equation means any equation, I mean to say that whether it is linear equation or whether it is quadratic equation, you must have to write that equation with respect of y. मतलब आपको क्या करना है, जो भी इक्वेशन होता है, जैसे ये इक्वेशन एक लिखा है, इस इक्वेशन को हम लोग बोलेंगे लीनियर इक्वेशन। तो इस लीनियर इक्वेशन को हमको किसके रिस्पेक्ट में लिखना है, y के रिस्पेक्ट में लिखना है। अगर आपको क्वेश्चन दिया रहेगा सपोज क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन का, तो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन का इक्वेशन कैसा हो सकता है, ए एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस बी एक्स प्लस सी वेयर ए शुड नॉट बी इक्वल टू 0। ठीक है, अब ये जो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन है इसमें ए जो है वो जीरो नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि जीरो जब होगा तो जीरो जो है जब एक्स स्क्वायर से मल्टीप्लाई होगा तो वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगा, फर्स्ट टर्म का आपका वो जीरो हो जाएगा। और जब जीरो हो जाएगा तो आप बेटर समझ सकते हो कि दिस विल नॉट बी क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन एनीमोर, है कि नहीं, ये क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन अब नहीं रहा। तो जब क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन रहा ही नहीं तो क्वेश्चन समाप्त हो गया। तो हमें क्या करना है, वी मस्ट मींस must be known that the value of a should not be equal to 0. Okay, as well as this equation should also be written with respect of y, means whether this linear equation is written with respect to y in this way, the same way the y will also be written in the same way, ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, and when just like linear equation, you have made this table and you have used that after putting the value of x, you can easy to find the value of y. In the same way, you will put the value of x here and you will be easy to find the value of y. Is it clear, students? So in the same way, the table is formed, x and y will be written, and we put the value of x and the value of y will be known to you. Okay, just like this, you will make this x-axis and y-axis and plot this value to this x-axis and y-axis. And it is very interesting to know that because it is linear equation, so a single ray means a single line is just known to you. In the quadratic equation, there will be two lines, okay, and there will be the 2 point where this means line will be intersect with x-axis, and that will be the required zeros of this equation. That will be the required zeros of this equation. Okay, Aditya, did you understand? Shivani, did you understand? Okay. So this is the way we used to write the expression, as well as we can find the value of x and y. And you must be assured that for linear equation there will be one zeros, the for quadratic equation there will be two zeros, and in the same way in cubic means expression, or you can say cubic polynomial, okay, there will be three zeros. Okay, so in the first exercise it is given that if there will be a mark of two intersection point on the x-axis, so definitely which equation it is? If on x and y-axis there will be two mark like this, one mark here, and one mark here. So how many zeros of this equation? Can will anybody say? If there will be three mark or three intersection point in any unknown equation, so how many zeros of this equation? Will anybody say? Definitely, definitely. Aditya, am I audible to you? Aditya, am I audible to you? Okay, fine. So this three intersection point on x-axis, there will be the three zeros. In the same way, if on x-axis there will be two mark, okay, so there this will be called what? There will be two zeros. यहाँ पर दो zeros होंगे. दो zeros कहने के मतलब दो factors होंगे. दो factors का मतलब it will be quadratic equation. Or if there will be three zeros, definitely it will be cubic equation. Is it clear to you all? Is it clear to you all? Okay. If in x-axis or y-axis, this type of symbol, this type of means arc or semi-arc you can see, then this will be known as a parabola. Okay, like this or like this. Okay, any two of means any one of two. If this type of means mark, if you see in x-axis and y-axis, it will be called as a parabolas. So now we proceed to our exercise. The first exercise is given to you, that is very clear, and I hope that you will all able to give the answer. The first question is said that the graph y is equal to px that are given in figure 2.10, and below are the some polynomials. Find the number of zeros of px in each case. Okay, so all of you have NCRT right now. Okay, so if all of you have NCRT, just go thoroughly with the question and wait for your answer. When I ask, just share your answer one by one. Okay, so you can see the first figure, there is no intersection of any means this line on x-axis. So it is called infinite equation. It will be called as an infinite equation, means there will be infinite zeros. What you can say? There will be infinite zeros. Okay. The second question, that is that there is only one intersection on x-axis. Okay, there is only one intersection on x-axis. So how many number of zeros will be? There will be one number of zeros. Only one zeros will be. In the same way, the third question you can see there are three number of zeros you can see. Okay. Now, how many number of zeros in question number 4? Yes, and it will be called as a parabola. In the same way, question number 5, how many number of zeros, Aditya? Okay, Aditya is not with us. Okay, शिवानी आप बताइए क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 में कितने नंबर ऑफ जीरोस होंगे? जहां जहां इंटरसेक्शन हुआ है, जहां जहां मार्क हुआ है एक्स एक्सिस पर, आप बताएंगे हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ जीरोस विल बी? नो, सी मीन्स केयरफुली, यू हैव टू मार्क ओनली एक्स एक्सिस। आपको सिर्फ एक्स एक्सिस पर जो मार्क किया हुआ है वो सिर्फ देखना है। या साक्षी, सॉरी साक्षी, यू कैन, या फिफ्थ वन, या okay. So the number of zeros will be 4 because the point of intersection on x-axis are having 4 points and there will be 4 number of zeros. Okay. Now, Trisha, this is for you. Question number 6. How many number of zeros in question number 6? Because if it is not pass, then how you will able to know that what is the point of that intersection? Okay, so you can see very clearly here that only one point there the value is marked, and that point here you can easy to say that there is a one intersection, so there will be one zeros. If the value is only just pass, not pass, only touch, so it will be not clearly for you that how the means intersection of x-axis and y-axis happens. So only one point is only known for you, that is 10 only. Okay, so I hope all of you have understand as well as the relationship of that number of zeros as well as their factors. Okay, all of you have understand very clearly. Is there any doubt to this respective questions, students? Any queries, students? Nothing. Yes. X square. Okay, yes, continue. Okay, fine. So we can proceed to our next exercise as well as the question is given means in our last classes that what are the relationship of coefficient as well as their number of zeros. Okay, so yes, can you repeat the question again, Misha? Can you repeat the question? Okay. Okay. Plus 6. Okay, so fine. So you can see here that this value having, we can use the common, that it is x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, so it is x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now x squared minus 3x minus x plus 3. So x minus 3 minus 1 x minus 3. So x minus 1 and x minus 3. So there are two values, means two zeros of this equation, 1 and 3. This was your answer. 2x minus 2. So definitely it you have not means find the common values from this given equation. You have to first take out all the common values and then you will make it in a standard form. After that the middle term will be split and your two zeros will be. So with the two zeros means 1 and 3, you will able to find that what is the relationship of these two zeros with their coefficient. So you know that if these are the two zeros, so definitely in our term this will be alpha and this will be beta. This is only suppose value. Okay, this is only suppose value. Okay, this is not means a definite value. We are just supposing it that these are the values and we will equate this to find this equation. So suppose sum of zeros sum of zeros is equal to minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. Okay, so sum of zeros is what? 1 and 3 here. So 1 plus 3. Now you can see the same thing, minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. So 4 it is. Okay, so you can see here that this value means sum of zeros value will be equal to minus coefficient of x by coefficient of x square. Okay, now when we go for another relation, that is product of zeros, so it will be constant term by coefficient of x square. Okay, so what is the product of zeros? Means product of these two value. So 1 multiply 3. Okay, so it will be what? 3. You can write here. So it will be constant term by coefficient of x square. So 4 means 3 will be your constant term and what will be your coefficient of x square? That it will be 1. Okay, now you know the equation, then how we will put this value? We will put this value by using ax square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta. So here you can see that x coefficient of x square. So what is the coefficient of x square? 1. What is the coefficient of x square? It is 1. So you will write here simply 1 or you can write here only x square. Okay. Now minus what is the sum of zeros? Means alpha plus beta. So it is 4. So what is the coefficient of x? Only 4. So minus 4x plus alpha beta means product of zeros. What is the product of zeros? That is 3. So you can write here 3. So you can see that coming equation, that is x square minus 4x plus 3, is same to the our main equation. So that's how you can easy to relate your coefficient as with the number of zeros or the zeros if it is given, then you can find that equation that will be your main equation. Just like x square minus 4x plus 3 is the same having the equation that is x square minus 4x plus 3 at the last. Okay, so by this way we can relate our question. First of all, you have to find the zeros, then after you have to relate these zeros with their coefficient, and at last in the equation you have to put their values. If in the equation the sum of zeros and product of zeros is given, so simply in the equation x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta, you have to put this value and the equation will be formed. That will be your required answer. अगर आपको क्वेश्चन में सम ऑफ जीरोस प्रोडक्ट ऑफ जीरोस दिया हुआ होगा, तो आपको एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस अल्फा प्लस बीटा एक्स प्लस अल्फा बीटा जो लास्ट में लिखा हुआ है, उसी में आपको क्या करना है, उस वैल्यू को पुट कर देना है। अगर क्वेश्चन में सम ऑफ जीरोस प्रोडक्ट ऑफ जीरोस नहीं दिया हुआ है, सिर्फ आपको दिया हुआ है क्वेश्चन कि ये 2x स्क्वायर माइनस 8x प्लस 6 इस तरीके से दिया है, और आपको कहता है कि कोफिशिएंट एज वेल एज जीरोस को रिलेट करें, तो सबसे पहले आपको जीरोस फाइंड करना होगा और फिर उन जीरोस के हेल्प से आपको कोफिशिएंट को क्या करना है, रिलेट करना है। कोफिशिएंट एक बार रिलेट हो जाएगा तो लास्ट में आपको फिर से उसी इक्वेशन में उस वैल्यू को पुट कर देना है जो मैंने आपको बताया, एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस अल्फा प्लस बीटा एक्स प्लस अल्फा बीटा, और आपका रिक्वायर्ड इक्वेशन जो था पहले का क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन वो फॉर्म हो जाएगा। समझ में आ रहा है स्टूडेंट्स? Is it clear to you all? Aditya, Shivani, Twisha, Sakshi. Aditya, am I audible to you? Okay, there may be some network issue. Okay, students. So I hope you have understand today class. Okay. Okay, Aditya, fine. So if there any question, if there any query, somebody can ask. Okay. So today we have completed our first exercise. The first exercise, this will be your homework, as well as some questions will be given to you as a assignment. Okay, students. So that assignments you have to submit it by the next Monday, and that assignments will be from your trigonometry chapter as well as polynomial, some basic questions. Okay. So I will share you the link, and that link will, there will be an assignment where you can download the assignment and you can again means solve means put your answer to that assignment app. Okay, fine, students. So is there any question, students? Is there any question relating to this chapter, relating to this exercise? Okay, so tomorrow the class will be with our next exercise. Okay, today's class was an introduction of geometrical means graphical representation of this polynomial, that means exercise 2.1. Tomorrow's class will be of exercise 2.2. So all of you have to just go thoroughly with all these solved examples as well as the questions. Okay, and if there will be doubt, we will solve out tomorrow. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone.